this out, guys. (1940) Chevy truck. It's I guess a street rod or something like that you'd call it. It's got a 350 small block Chevy in it, 4-speed. They've upgraded the rear axle and put in modern front suspension. It's supposed to be on a S10 chassis, but I'm not sure that it is. But yeah, the lady who owns this, she's an older lady, and she wanted a stick shift, so she's got it. She's quite small, which is good, because like if you look in here, it's for me it's a little snug. I'm kind of all knees, but yeah, it's got a tilt column in it, although I really don't think you'd want it tilted down. Put modern gauges in it, VDO gauges, which, you know, those are nice. It's all pretty inside, all the upholstery's been done. It's really quite nice, but man, I guess they didn't build the Farmers very big back in the 1940s, because this is a little small for me. But hey, anyway, let's have a look at the rest of it. Squeeze out. Oh yeah, it's been done quite nicely. They've put the diamond tread, you know, checker plate diamond tread down here. It's got the little Chevy bow tie tailpipes on it. Old school wheels, so they're, you know, a little bit bigger tyre than it would have had. Body's in pretty good shape by the look of it. It's a nice car. So yeah, the key thing it's in for is the e-brake. It's just not working, so we're going to investigate that. Being a stick shift, she needs to have an e-brake, so, you know, because you can't always leave it in gear, and then it's hard to start if you're on a hill if you don't have an e-brake. But yeah, it's got a nice new deck put in it. It's been used, which is kind of refreshing to see. It's not a trailer queen. It's quite nice. You can see that it's got they've moved the tank under the floor, and they've got quite a nice tidy looking filler set up here, which is nice. Yeah, pretty sweet old truck. I like it. Hopefully we really don't have too much to do to it. She's bought a good truck, hopefully. We can just get the hood open now. There we go. So this is kind of the kind of thing you'd want to be hoping to see when you open this up. Someone's put a decent radiator in it, and it's quite well appointed. Like they've done all this tubing here for the overflow. You know, it's not just, you know, someone's taken the trouble to bend this up and do it right. They've got a decent sized fuel filter on it, but it's quite tidy under here. It's quite tidy. You know, this has been done for a little while. This plastic conduit is kind of a little old school, like today's standards, but somebody went to the trouble of doing that, which is nice. That's a drain. That's what I meant to show you guys. I thought, what's this winder handle doing in the middle of the dashboard? So that is 1940s air conditioning. That's how they rolled. But this is a super solid old truck. Look at the condition. Like, this is all factory, and it's in great. Okay, it's been painted, but it's original. You know, this has not been cut up and messed around with. The small block fits in there quite nicely. They haven't had to chop up the firewall, even with the oversized distributor on it, those giant HEI distributors. It's just got ram's horn manifolds, which is all you need on a truck like this. Like, you really don't need headers. They're not trying to, like, you know, win a race from stoplight to stoplight. They're not after every horsepower, but at least with the cast iron ram's horns, they flow pretty well. They're quiet. You know, you don't get that ticker sound that you get with headers. And yeah, you just fit them and forget them. So this is nice. Yeah, it's got a decent proper accelerator cable in it, like, yeah. And yeah, she's been used. She's got lots of stone chips, and yeah, it's had a little bit of bodywork here and there. But I mean, just the bumper. The bumper's not beat to death. The bumper irons are the right shapes. It's got an aftermarket stereo with an antenna. All right. First impressions, that's a pretty good truck. You know, the paint's probably a 7 out of 10. You know, it's not show quality paint, but nor is it meant to be. So, but it looks like it's not a survivor clearly, but it kind of has a used look and like a loved look. So yeah, you can pull up to this and people aren't going to go like be scared to approach you because you've got a $200,000 truck. That people are going to come up and go, I remember these, my granddad had one of these, which is always fun. But anyway, it's enough rambling. Oh, well, let's get it up on the rack, see if it looks as good underneath as it does on top, see if we can get to the bottom of these brakes, or the e-brake, and go from there. Right, back in a second. Right, well, she bought it recently from Smoky Mountain Traders, so let's just see how good of a car they sold her. Now, it's had some custom work done on it. This sort of stuff's been added. The tail lights. Got a drop tank in it. Like a drop tank, you know, like instead of being in the cab, it's back here. And yeah, looking around in here, it's had some body work on it over the years, but it's really not bad. It's the original chassis. The guy dropped it off, said it was an S10 chassis, but it's not an S10 chassis. It's got a later model rear axle in it, and yeah, these shock absorber brackets have been added. So yeah, it's definitely been modified, but it's not an S10 frame. But yeah, moving forward, we've got a brake. We've got a bit of an oil leak here. It's a little wet. It's probably coming out the pinion seal by the look of it. It's got a brake bias valve here, or brake proportioning valve. The exhaust is fairly new. Now we know the e-brake's not working. You can hear it clunking, but it's just not working. So we'll get into that in a minute. Someone's added a drive shaft hoop to it, which is, I mean, it's not a drag car, it's not a race car, so I don't know that that's really needed, but it's not a negative by any means. Everything's quite kind of nice under here. It's got new fuel lines. You know, someone's put hard lines in it. New fuel lines. You can see. Looks like this has been modified to some degree. But I mean, the floor. This is the original floor in here. Looks like it's been blasted. You can see a little bit of pitting here and there, but really not bad. The corners are intact. If you look back, come around, look back up in here. You know, these cab corners are usually gone and around here, and this is really not bad. For a 1940 truck, it's really not bad. So we got the Chevy, we got the 4-speed transmission, we got, you know, drips of oil, but you know, it's not really to be unexpected. You know, it is what it is. These things leak. Not sure what this is about. This has been cable tied up here. I don't know what that's about. We might have a look at that, see if we can figure that out. It might have been meant to be reverse light, something like that, but who knows. You got the battery in here, which drops out the bottom. You got quick little pins here, you pull them out and the battery drops out the bottom. It's easy to get to now up in the air, but on the ground it'd be a bit of a mother because batteries are heavy. But this is all original chassis and cross member here. I think it's kind of cool that the old girl that's driving it, you know, is driving a stick. Now this is a cross member. This could well be the S10 cross member, which is why it's kind of grown from having a S10 cross member to having an S10 frame. I think it's just a cross member. But that's a nice upgrade. You know, it's an independent front, it's not a beam axle anymore. Disc brakes, rack and pinion steering. So that's nice. Really? It's not a bad old truck. It's actually pretty kind of original. All this sort of stuff's in nice shape. All the inner fenders, if you look up in here, all the inner fenders look to be pretty good. You know, all around here, it's not full of mud. You know, mud tends to catch up on here, dirt, and then they rust out, but this is all pretty clean. So when they've built this, they've started with a good truck. Which, I mean, that's the way to go. If you can start with a good vehicle to start with, be it a truck or a car or whatever, but the better you start with, the less money you're going to spend on. So I think she's done pretty well. I think she's done pretty well here. This is not a bad truck. So we're going to get these wheels and drums off, see what's going on with that e-brake. Because it's just, you know, we're getting a little bit of e-brake on the left rear wheel, we're getting nothing on the right rear wheel at all. So we just got to get to the bottom of that. Might be a well, no, I don't think the cable's frozen. There's something wrong in there, but it's just speculation until we pull the wheels and drum off. So yeah, this is kind of the vehicle that you would hope to buy when you're buying it from a car dealer. This is not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. And it's 1940, so it's not going to be perfect. So yeah, they've done a nice job. Upgraded the rear axle, upgraded the front axle. It's nice. All right, we're going to get these wheels off. We'll come back, show you what we find, and then it'll be road test time. Right, let's have a look in here, see what's going on. Looks like the brakes have been done not too many miles ago. The shoes are only just worn in. But this e-brake is just not in the right, it's all the way kind of tightened up. Let's try and grab the cable. This is not where it, okay, that's what's missing. Here there should be a little pin, that's the pivot point for the e-brake lever, that's your e-brake lever there. That's meant to come up through there and have a little pivot pin in it, because at the moment the cable's pulling the bottom of it and the back's just flopping out. That's why we've got zero e-brake on this side and some e-brake on the other side, just because the pedal's going down so far. Let's have a quick look at the other side and maybe that'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, yep, there you go. See this little pin here, and there's like a C-clip on it? That's the pivot point for this lever. And then the lever is like right back behind the shoe. It's way back over here. On the other side, it's pulled right up to the backing plate. It's like probably an inch further forward. That's why there's so much slack in the cable and no e-brake. All right, well, we're going to need to pull the rear shoe off that side. Hopefully this pivot point's intact and we can just reassemble it, put another clip on there and get the old deer on the road again. All right, let's have a look, Steve. Right, let's take this baby for a test drive. Oh, it's a little tight in here. The old knees are a bit bent and I don't have the best knees anyway. So forgive me if I'm a bit jerky on the clutch and brake, because I really am having a bit of trouble switching pedals. Whew. I tell you what, they never went like this in 1940. Absolutely not. That's got plenty of power. Actually, this thing drives pretty nice. Pretty nice. Getting lots of air up through here. I'm glad it's got a smaller steering wheel than stock. That gives me a little bit more room. Got all the power you could want in a vehicle like this, but man, it drives nice down the road. It's nice and smooth, and it's not tracking, you know, it's not veering, it's just easy down the middle of the road. This actually handles better than a lot of the 50s and even 60s cars we get through the shop. But that's the beauty of having a nice, well executed front suspension swap on it. You know, it's got the later model full independent front with the rack and pinion steering, and when that's welded in the right place and your wheels are all aligned, they drive nice. I mean, this really just doesn't take a lot of driving. This is nice, ample power, just a little cramped, but you know, the lady who owns it is she's maybe 5'5" if you're lucky, with a pair of shoes on. So I think she's going to have a little more leg room. And I just think it's very cool that, you know, she's an older girl and she wants a V8 stick. So good for her. Oh, that's actually fourth. Yeah, it just pulls away in top gear. I thought I was in second then, but I was in top, but it just pulls away. Bit hard getting on off the clutch pedal and off the brake pedal just because I'm so cramped, but other than that, this is really nice to drive. Like, this is an undulating road, this back road, and most of the time you're working quite hard to keep it in your lane, but honestly this is quite relaxing to drive. I'm really liking this truck. I think she's done well. You know, this is through a, you know, probably it's through a car dealer and probably consignment, and those guys get a lot of grief, and you know, deservedly often. But this is a good truck. This is, I have no idea what she paid for it, but the bottom line is she bought a good truck. This is a nice car. You know, the e-brake was a simple fix, and that's just that little clip had fallen off. So yeah, this is a win. I'll give her a call. She can come pick it up tomorrow. This is our last little effort for the day, so we'll get her put away for the night, head home, and have the compulsory bourbon, I feel. So yeah, alright guys, well, 1940 Chevy truck, like Mr. Chevrolet never imagined. And happy story, happy ending. You know, I was a little worried that, you know, we were going to find some jacked up mess of an e-brake, but it really wasn't bad. So yeah, just good news all round, which is nice. It's a nice way to end your day. Alright guys, I'm going to get her parked up and definitely got some lift. Alright guys, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.